Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Dollar's Twi'lek Tactics. Yes, I'm still wearing the same shirt as I was in yesterday's video because I'm filming it immediately after I stopped filming that one. This is my post-release summary on Sif. I kind of touched on her quite a bit, actually, in the last video, and I definitely sung her praises. She is the summoner that we've all been looking for. So let's go. Let's look at summoners. Okay, so this is a pretty good group, pretty good looking group, if I do say so myself. So Dan, old character, very, very good still. Ampu, old character, very, very good still. Servali, the majority of the people hated her when she came out. I loved her, but she is the glue. She glues everything together, kinda. Doralee, we needed a tank summoner. She's great. After they fix all the bugs, she's great. Sif. Oh, Sif. This team definitely needed more damage. Lots more damage. And Sif brings it in spades. Very, very good. Again, I love the animation. I like the kind of music they got going in the background. I love that she has the Sith yellow eyes. Right? Sith. Very, very cool. I love her aesthetic. As I've said many, many times, she is a great hero. You should definitely get her while you can. If you're watching this today is the last day that you can pull on the Mirror of Reformation. Although Sif is going to be available for another week. You can wait. You can wait if you're saving all of your limited tickets for a hero rally. Cool. Okay, good. The gear set. Her gear. This is the ideal gear set. Now, this isn't ideal. You want crit rate gloves, attack helm, attack boots with crit rate substats if you can get it. And then up top, again, you want crit rate, attack, and crit damage substats. You want madness and then a 2-piece sun signet. Ideally, you have to go into her thinking in your head that you are going to temper her madness gear to immortal because you kind of want it for Gobo so that he doesn't die. Right? Now, ideally you want madness on the bottom because you can't immortal sun signet gear at this time. And you probably never will, although they should. But you probably never will. Because they'd have to give us the mats in decent caves. So that is how you gear her. Exclusive 30, she's definitely worth her exclusive 30. Right? What is her exclusive 30? Depending on the number of dead pebbles, Gobo's crit damage and size is increased. So that's what ramps up his crit damage. And then the effect will carry on through death, which you don't want all those juicy stats that you just acquired to go bye-bye and have to acquire them again. So her X30, I think, is pretty much mandatory, but it is worth it if you're all in on summoners. Of course, if you're not, then X20 is probably going to be for you. But if summoners are your jam, which they used to be mine, it's probably my most developed team other than assassins, you're going to want to take her to X30. It's going to provide a lot of benefits. You get all this attack because the more attack you give her, the more attack Gobo gets because Gobo gets 160% of her attack. And that's going to help you in Turbine, as we're going to see in the footage. So what else can we say about her here? Yes, definitely get her. Get a copy. Run, don't walk. Grab Sif. She is great. She's got really, really, really good damage. I think that you should also hyper evolve her. I think the team is now. I think Dan still holds the #1 spot, but I think Doralee and then Sif are the number 2 and 3. It was really hard to push Ampu out, but you definitely need Ampu still on the team. But his X30 is a little bit less mandatory now with the damage that Sif can do. Okay. All right. So let's get out of here. I got a bunch of footage that I want to go over in discussing this lovely lady. And this is the team. These 5 assassins are the team. Now, there is an instance where you're going to remove Servali for Guildhunt, which we'll view in the footage. But for the most part, in most parts of content, this is where you're going to need her. I guess briefly we can discuss where. I don't know why I clicked that. OCD. Where are you going to use her? Well, in my main account, I'm at stage 60-11. And I have been using summoners to push a few stages because Dorley and Doragon, when you run them together, both of their summons are considered large summons, which means they count as 3. Obviously, Doragon is a tank, and if you got him, or Dorley X30, he's just a never-dying tank. She's just going to summon more and more and more. So her and or Doragon and then Gobo are going to be basically frontlining the whole team, and they're going to kind of provide the bulwark that protects your summoners. So they are really good in story. If you are early game or mid game, I think you could probably progress quite a bit through story with the full 5-man and woman summoner team. Twilight Lands, I'm not going to click the button because it's going to screw up my sound, but obviously we need her for Twilight Lands this month because 1610 is a summoner bond, a summoner battle. It's a summoner boss, and they're probably going to do something to make it so that it's almost mandatory to have Sif. So you do need her for this content. That seems to be the case with all the new releases over the month because 16.7 is a Vanguard boss, so we're probably going to need Ares for the Vanguard boss, or at least make it easier. You're probably going to need Sif for the summoner boss to make it easier, right? It is what it is, right? That's just the way that they're helping, turn these heroes into carrots to make you have a little bit of FOMO that you're going to go buy them because you actually need them for current content. Now, that said, Crimson Abyss, we're going to show some footage, but she's definitely, she's not required for Crimson Abyss because with the addition of Dorley, we were able to clear 15, but she does make it easier. She makes it faster, that's for sure. So she's definitely a good hero for this content. Well, I got footage to show you. Lost Valley, not really. There's no real place for summoners here. Although I suppose you could use them early game before you get to the X levels. You probably could there. So you can use them probably there early. Soul Mine, sure. She's a Wenfear, so we'll see what... I haven't tested her in the Wenfear boss yet, but I'm sure you can use her here as well. It's going to get a little tough at endgame. Arena. Whoa. Look at that. Steve Scherer just subscribed on my YouTube. Oh, cool. This is a holdover from when I used to Twitch live stream. All right. Okay. Right on. Summoner or subscribers +1. So the Summoners PvP, I do have some footage there to show you as well. So they are fairly niche in PvP, beating mainly, I'd say, Vanguards, although Ares also makes it a little bit more difficult. But they're basically going to be the assassin counter, right? The assassin hard counter, which I have some pretty awesome footage to show you there as well. And then Kutosian Triangle. You need them for the beginning stage of Roulette of Truth, the Idar boss. And then you need them for the final boss battle in Mirage Space, and she does make the fight easier. You are able to pull Mazrani off of the team and just go full summoners and down the Reaper Deca. So, kind of niche places, but what? 1, 2... PvP 3, Twilight Lands, yeah, Crimson Abyss 4, so definitely she's going to get some use. So that said, let's actually go and we'll show you instead of just telling you some of these uses. So this is Crimson Abyss stage 15. Now, it's not going to beat it in 48 seconds. This is the assassin time, right? Assassins are broken. Fiona broke them, and assassins can beat pretty much everything. But if you don't have really, really good assassins, this is what you can use. So there you see, there's my gear on her, right? I've got my Madness helm. I'm waiting on those crit damage gloves on my on this account. This is my main account, so that I can finally temper those gloves. So you see, everybody's X30 except for Sorvely, although I kind of want to X30 my Sorvely now, but I don't. And everybody's hyper-evolved except for Sif. Well, let's turn the volume down there. There we go. Okay. So let's count the clock here. Anything I want to tell you about this? So basically, I'm running her, or I'm running Ampu and Doralee up front, right? Because I want obviously Doragon to take the hits, but I want Ampu close to the front in order so that his little zombies can get as close as they can before they explode and die and cause damage. Sif is in the back line. Or not in the back line, midline with Dan, because my commander gives a lot of attack to frontline and midline heroes. But they're just going to do their thing. So if we watch the damage meter, you'll see that Ampu will win, although Sif briefly overtook him there. So like I said when we first discussed her, is that she, I think I discussed it in this video, she, through Gobo, through Pebbles, drastically ramps up Ampu's damage, right? That's 3 more things. You see Pebbles over here. I don't know if they can reach the boss there, but they are blowing up, and then they will help Ampu's damage. And look at old poor Dan. My Dan is Immortal 5, Hyper 120, completely maxed to the gills with Immortal gear. And Ampu and Sif are just blowing him away. This is probably the best example of just how good of damage that she can do. Even though Dan's Bearer is kind of more of a PvE. But remember, Gobo does PvE, or AoE as well. And yeah, look at Ampu and her are blowing them out of the water. I'm assuming that, let me pause it here before the battle ends. I'm assuming that once I get her hyper evolved, 120, and with Immortal gear, she's gonna be beating Mr. Ampu here. I have seen videos of her beating him in this content. Keep in mind, again, my Ampu is also Immortal 5, Hyper 120. No Immortal gear on my Ampu yet, though. So, yeah, Crimson Abyss, really, really good. So we did this in about a minute 30-ish. Minute 26, I do believe. Yeah, minute 26. So that is definitely a fast time. That is enough, I do believe, to get your limiteds. Yeah, 130. So you have to have the team pretty much maxed, but it does help you with pure summoners to get your speed runs done. Okay. All right. So that's Crimson Abyss. Next up, whoa. There we go. Turbine. Okay, Guildhunt Turbine. Now, this is Turbine 15. I did not get a chance to test on 18, but the team will change slightly. So up until the addition of Sif, we were only getting about, with a max team, like 2 billion damage, roughly 2 billion damage on, say, 15 and 18, which are the 2 hardest turbines. So let's jump in here. Again, I'm going to turn on this volume. So the team for 15 and under, the team is, and you kind of want a specific configuration. So you want Ampu over here. You want Ampu to always be getting the Doralee buff. So if let's start back here so we can actually see the formation. Back further. Okay, this is the formation. Why? Because Doralee is going to end up right up here, butted up next to Ampu. You want Ampu and Dan up front. And then you do want Skewer and Hattie, because the and not Sorvely, which is it's funny to think it. Put Sorvely on this team. It does probably add more survivability. It does, you know, it would assume that it would help Ampu's damage, but really the attack buff that you get from Skewer is more beneficial. You can get bigger numbers than running Sorv on this team. So Skewer and Hattie, hanging on by a thread, still has an end game use in this game. Now, obviously, with gear sets, you've seen how to gear her. We are running PvE sets, so Surge, Madness. Sorv, I guess if you had an Immortal Madness set, you could run it on her, but sadly, that is probably, you're going to want to, put Madness on these 2 characters first. So Sora's probably just going to have 3 hero sets. So this is the configuration which is going to allow Ampu's, all of his ads to explode on the boss. Dan's going to get better energy regeneration. I still don't know why for being in the front row. And then Doralie's going to summon Dorgon, and then she's going to park herself right up here next to Ampu, which is going to supply him with the shield. But normally, many people experience the sad instance where Ampu is just going to eat all of the barrage from the Turbine. But if you've got Sif at X30, that's not the case. You're going to watch Gobo eat all of the missile hits. So here we go. You see Dorgon's up there. There goes Gobo. And you see Doralie right here, parked right next to Ampu. And now this is full auto. You can get more out of this if running it on manual, right? Because of the interaction you can get from Skewer and Hattie. It's a pain in the butt, though. So you see Gobo's dying because he's in madness. But he is taking the flamethrower from the Turbine. And then they are maxing out the damage mitigation or decreasing. Oh, here we go. So there you go. Gobo just took the hits, right? But at the beginning of the fight, Dorgon would take the hits as well. Because Ampu takes a little bit to ramp up. You see he is, I think, is it 15 max? Yeah, now Ampu is at max attack. So now, normally, before Sif, he would be eating that barrage, and you would have to run Miranda to help keep him alive. But, you know, since old Gobo here gets 160% of Sif's attack, he's going to have the highest attack value on the field, and he is going to eat the missile barrage. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. So, Skewer and Hattie do seem to be able to stay alive in 15. Not so much in 18. Then you got to run Masrani again. So here you go, Gobo eating the missiles again. Boom, boom, boom. He has not died yet because he is getting healed by Sif in a timely manner. And you can see Sif is the damage dealer here. Obviously, why is she beating Ampu? Because we don't have Sorvali on the field providing us with all those deers for Ampu to explode. So her herself is going to do 1 billion damage. Ampu probably going to do 1 billion damage. Dan is doing about what Dan does, right? Because that's what Dan does. But Sif is the summoner that helps at least make us do better damage than we are used to. We used to only ever do like 2 billion. Now I think I'm going to do, what, 3.7? 3.6. Now, this you can obviously get this higher, right? I've seen Gameplay Horizon get 4 billion. Keep in mind, again, my Sif is only Immortal 0, and she's not hyper-evolved yet. And my Skewer and Hattie, while hyper-evolved, is not X30, nor would I recommend you take her to X30 either. Okay, so Guildhunt Turbine. Sif is the summoner we've all been waiting for, right? Bigger, it's not big numbers, it's not spider numbers, it's not whale numbers, but it is finally decent damage on this bad boy. Okay. I got to move back over to the game because I got to pull up the PvP footage for you now. And I don't need you guys staring at a white screen. Okay, here we go. All right. I don't like this. This next part I don't like. Why? Because I don't think that just an old school Triple S team should be able to beat... Oh, and now my Windows Media Player is not responding. Close program. I don't think that a Triple S team should be able to beat a SP team, especially not the Assassin SP team. But okay, here we go. So this is taken from my main account's Hell Arena. So this is guild on guild violence, Sharp versus myself. Wait a minute. Let me turn some music up. There we go. So you see, look at his summoner team. This is my assassin team. So obviously it is a hyper-evolved Caraxia. Obviously it is not a maxed out Caraxia. Not a maxed out Korra, right? Even though Sharp has a maxed out Caraxia. Look at you, Sharp. Look at you go. I've got a maxed out Rickert. You know, I got Fiona X30. Everybody on this team's X30. You know, I got a Immortal 3 Dom. But regardless, he's got just the Summoner team, and it beat this team, and it beats it badly. Now, maybe if I had this prototype that I have on my Vanguards, maybe if I had it up here on my Assassin team, maybe it would have been a different story. But still, it is a hyper-evolved SP hero that gets beat by Summoners. So let's watch this happen. So there's Sharp's Korra. So obviously, since what he's doing here is, since he doesn't have Madness Immortal yet, he's running full crit build. I'm assuming this is crit rate, attack, and attack, because this way Gobo doesn't drain life, doesn't kill himself slowly, which is probably the play that you would want to do until you get Immortal set. But I'm just going to build my Immortal Madness set. So there's his Sorv. You know, see, full accuracy. Doralee, full of HP. And then Ampu, Surge. Some Immortal pieces. And then Attack, and Dan, obviously, Madness. Now, here we go. Let's watch the beating. So, if you want to focus on the health of the heroes, the Summoners, you're going to see, obviously, no healers, so they're relying on Sorvali and Ruler's Ring for the healing. I have it at 1x speed, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. But Doralee and Dan, they've taken some hits, right? They're going to take some AoE from Caraxia and from Helentus. And Bailey. I think Bailey's on this team too. So Sif, you see here, Sif did get low damage. Had she got low enough, Caraxia would have executed her. But right now you can see it looks like my Caraxia is up here focusing on Doragon. I think is what's going on here. But she did take just some big hit from something. Oh, she does have Caraxia on her, but Caraxia appears to be dead. She appears to be in her spectral state. But I think this is where the hyper evolved and it's probably hyper evolved 120. I didn't look, but it is Immortal 3, so it is getting some PvP reduction and is gaining some stats. So had I been able to execute Sif early, maybe this fight would have went differently. But you see, Dan must have dropped oh no, this is Ampu. You see all my heroes back here are stunned. So this team, the Summoner team, has always had a lot of CC. Gobo's down here, just pounding on people. And remember, Gobo also has anti-invincibility in his kit. So Gobo is anti-assassin. My point is had he not had Sif this developed, maybe I would have executed Sif and killed her. But as you see now, she's just healing to full. Healing back to full. And now I've got Caraxia up. And I got Dominic up. And now they're all dead. So yeah, Summoners beat Assassins. Let's watch that one more time. Oh yeah, his Sif is 120. Okay, let's watch it one more time before we wrap up. So Doragon up there just smashes all my Assassins. Obviously, Bailey. I think that's Bailey down there. Bailey and Caraxia. So Caraxia is down here in the bottom left-hand corner. She almost died. They almost killed her down here. But she is the one out here doing all the damage. It's just like the Assassins never got a foothold. See, there's Rickert up here. Bailey's down here. Bailey just got killed by Gobo. So Bailey was beating on Gobo, and then Gobo just cabered him to death. Rickert's up here doing nothing, because Rickert sucks versus Summoners. Now he's back here. Dominic's just, he's like, come on, guys, help me out here. Him and Caraxia just doing their thing, and now they're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all gone. So I guess the moral of this story is if you don't want to build an Immortal 5 Ares, then you can just build your summoners. And they can help you beat Caraxia. Could they beat a maxed Caraxia team? That I don't know. Because my Caraxia is only X30. Meaning that she's not providing the extra HP and attack to all the assassins. And she's not doing all the stuff that her X40 does. But still, this is impressive none the least. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously the word of the day for this video, or the safe word for this video, is going to be SIF. Because this is the SIF post-release summary. Or post-release, I don't know, whatever I call it. Look back. Yeah. We'll just say post-release summary. So put SIF down in the comments below. I'll know you made it to the end of this video, and I will send you a vial of urine. I don't know why I said that. No, I won't. No, I won't. But yeah, TLDR, SIF's really, really, really good. She allows them to be PvE monsters in the places where you're going to want to use summoners in PvE. And the fact that they can beat assassins in PvP is pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know how else you can interpret that. Yeah. She's really, really good. Good job, EE. Good job, devs. This is the summoner we've been waiting for. She is really good. The summoner team is really good. I've probably said really good like 18 times in this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave you at that. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. See you in the next one. Cheers. Peace. Bye-bye.